Okay, welcome back. Next fly we're tying up is the hot-headed leech. This is probably one of my favorite egg-sucking leech patterns. I like it because it's got a little bit of weight to it, so it can sink down there. You can dead drift it. You can fish it like a nymph. You can swing it. You can strip it. I've caught fish doing all of those, so it's really a good pattern. This is probably the color combination that I fished the most. This will have a orange hot-headed bead on the top of it, and it'll have an olive body. The other one that I fish quite a bit, the other color combination that I fish quite a bit, is the same color head but with a black body. So really simple to tie. As you can see, I've already taken and I've put in a few turns of lead wire, lead weight behind the bead, and this isn't necessarily to weight the fly, but it helps to keep the bead from spinning. So first thing you want to do is get that tied down. Get that tied down good and tight, and take your thread, bring it to the tail of the hook. Now for the tail, I've got a marabou plume here, and I've actually already stripped part of it off from an earlier fly, and I like to use the sides of the marabou plume and not the tips. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to strip a clump of those off, and we're going to tie it in, and it's okay if you tie this in quite a bit longer than what it needs to be, and you'll see why at the end. And so we'll tie that down. We're actually going to break it off at the end to the length that we want it. Now, I always like to make a few wraps underneath the marabou. That'll keep it from fouling up on the hook. Okay, next thing that we'll do is tie in our body, and for the body I'm using Leech yarn, olive leech yarn, or sometimes it's called mohair. And so we just take the very tip of that, and that's what we're going to tie down. Make sure it's down tight, and this stuff is pretty strong, so you can wrench down on it a little bit. And then we wrap. Let me see if you can still see it. Sorry about that. Okay, so when we wrap the leech yarn, we're going to take a wrap and we're going to pull the strands of the mohair back. What I like to do is, as you're wrapping, kind of pull up on the string and see if you can release some of those fibers, because we want this thing to have kind of a stringy look to it. And the more of those that you pull out, the better it's going to look at the end. Each wrap, we do the same thing, pull them out, and then kind of pull them back towards the tail of the fly. There we go. A couple more. And now we should be able to tie it off. Trim that. Put in a whip finish. And of course, slip a little head cement down in there so nothing comes apart on you. And this fly is basically indestructible. It's the only thing that you have to worry about is you bounce it off enough rocks, this bead will slowly start to chip and it'll lose its color. Now the last thing that you have to do is, we said earlier that we wanted this tail is a little bit long, and actually it's okay to leave a long tail, because the leech, you want that movement in the water that that a natural leech would have. So I'm not going to take a lot off of this tail, and I've actually tied these on a short hook, but with a tail that's about twice the length, just so that you get that movement. But this one, I'm going to break this one off just about the length of the hook, because this is already a fairly long fly. So we just break it off. It's better to break it than to cut it. When you cut it, it looks like it's been cut, and it just doesn't. I don't think it has much of a natural look to it. So now we'll just go ahead and pull some of these out, and you can use Velcro or a dubbing brush, whatever. And that's the finished fly. That's what it should look like when you're done.